Just to finish up on EMP, I think I left off where I was going to mention the damage range. EMP, when you are at 1 or 0 to 7 meters, alright, you'll deal the highest amount of damage possible within the AM, the Advanced Mechanic Damage, using EMP. When you are at 8 to 13 meters, you deal mid-range damage, essentially mid-tier. EMP is not, it is not far range. So here's 25 meters, I'm hitting EMP and I'm not registering anything, again because it's not a far range power. The most you'll do is mid-range. Now here you'll see me do somewhere along the lines of 30k range. The highest I'll hit for is anywhere from 40 to 41k. At my current CR versus the sparring target CR and my 12k might. That plays a part in how much damage you do on a target. Now that was a crit. So again, I'm at mid-range and I should be dealing anywhere within the 30s range. The highest I'll hit for is anywhere within 40 to 41k. But a majority of the attacks should be within the 30s range. Of course, excluding crits. And there you saw another one, 36 and 42. So you get an idea of the range. Mid-range, it's within 30k to early 40k damage. Now, within 7 meters or less, that's where, again, you'll deal more damage. And that damage range is anywhere from 40k, anywhere from the 40s to early 50s damage. So the most I'll probably hit for is maybe 50k, maybe 51 at my current CR and my might. Again, against this 126 sparring target. And you'll see the damage on my combat log too. That was a crit. It's not what I want to show. There, 50k. So if you want to deal the most damage, you want to make sure you are 7 meters or less. Now that does not mean you have to be right up in the boss's face. You could basically stand right here around this distance. Are we there? Let's see. Yeah, we're here. So this is the distance. Now, if we want to use something to measure, if you max out your camera all the way out with on a PlayStation it's L1 and down on the D-pad, the direction pad, all the way out and kind of go overhead. Not sure if I could get away with it on this angle here, but right above him. Notice again that my character, if you get your finger, you point it on him and bring your finger straight down, I should be in between EMP and Distract. These two powers with the cooldown. And of course my sparring target, if you put your finger right on the sparring target and bring your finger down, should be right on that L2 marker, which is to the left of Napalm, this power. So that's how you could kind of use as a measuring tool, aside from moving around, to get an idea of your distance. And then of course this is mid-range, so 7 meters to 0 meters, the most damage you will inflict. Anywhere from 8 to 13 meters, you will deal mid-tier damage. Now, moving around with EMP. Now this is a trick. What you can do is you cast EMP. Now some players just stay planted in one spot and they go ahead and they cast these abilities, and the only time they move is when they're not casting anything and they lose out on damage, which you can do. with nearly every power set can do this, unless of course there's a channeling ability which you will cancel. But I cast the EMP and you press jump and you can move around. Now your movement is still limited. You have limited mobility and you're not going to go very far, but you can still move around. Now here, because I like to jump a lot in content, so I position myself, I'm doing it. And you can do this too. It's really good for mobility. If you want to get away from an AoE and avoid an attack, or if you want to make your way to pick somebody up, or if you want to take advantage of this mid-tier, mid-range and melee damage, this is definitely something that you want to do. And again, I highly recommend that you use this. Otherwise, if you stop doing damage just to position yourself, you are going to lose out on netting damage on that card. And if you pug often, you might be kicked if that group is struggling, depending on who you're running with. So try to take advantage of this. Practice around with it. It's not too difficult. Just cast the power and press X. Again, you're not going to move, very far with it. You're still limited, but I mean, it's better than not moving at all. Now, this power registers damage on encased targets. Now, let's say this sparring target is in an encasement, and let's say you did the 3 powers, right? And then you hit EMP, and the target is still encased. If the target is still encased and you're hitting these 3 powers, you're still being tagged. The game, post-game update 55, still registers you and tags you. Now all you have to do is get within range with EMP and you'll deal damage on the target inside it. Why? Because EMP bypasses the shell and deals damage on the target inside. So that's really all you have to know when it comes to targets that you have encased.